First off, Crimson Cutie. So I keep showing you this all the time, but we're very limited on any kind of Nana or Royal Burgundy or anything like that. But we have a really big number of these on the ground. They all look like this. This is one of those crops that can be virtually row run. There's 3,400 of them. Crimson Cutie is sterile, so in a lot of states it complies with their invasive protocols. Some states don't recognize it. Maybe they're in the process of recognizing it, so every state is a little different. The federal government does not control barberry at this time as an invasive, so it's down to individual states, and you can imagine they're all over the place. So, but this is a great barberry. It grows very well, has a really good shape, very similar to pygmy barberry, the Nana. Lower kind of mounds, great disease resistance, really good color in the leaf. And it's in the worry-free pot, so it's in that worry-free program, which signifies, it's a sterile plant, and you don't have to worry about it spreading into the environment. So take a look at that as an alternative, as an option. I know people are out there looking for some of those other varieties, but make sure we talk about this one. Green Mountain is the next one. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it, but we just wanted to show you the size here. We have over 1,000 of these. Great structure, great size, 24 inch. You can see there we're over that mark, and we're starting to push towards that 3-foot mark, but not really. I just like to call this one a good solid 24-inch plant. We grow these in pot and pot, so they're always spaced. That way we get better bottoms on them. I do notice a lot of times out there in the market that sometimes the bottoms are a little more open, but we work really hard with trimming and spacing to keep that from happening with this plant. So hopefully you can push that, definitely against any B&B or anything like that out there. And for this size, we do have some Cranberry Creeks, but we're getting a little limited in that bigger size, so I would probably tend to go towards this Mountain. It's your best buy right now. Buxus Freedom, talked about this a lot. This here is our 2-gallon. I don't think I've talked about this size that much, but you can see here how great a package that is, the size of this plant. It's in that new gen pot. I know there's been a lot of buzz out there. There's some other people trying to start resistant boxwood, but nobody has them. So they don't even exist in the country. I find it interesting that there's some major articles that have run out there, but they don't even have the plant in the United States yet to take the cutting from. So I think they're getting a little ahead of themselves. So if you got somebody asking, hey, I saw this article about this or that, make sure that you direct them towards the New Gen website. That's a good place to go to get information. We do have flyers, things like that, promotional material. But both of the plants that are in this program, which this is Freedom, which is a little more, it's not really an upright, but it's a little more kind of egg-shaped maybe, tends to push a little bit taller. Independence is the one that's going to be more like a velvet would grow. And we do have those as well, and we have those in a 2 and a 3. So we have both Freedom and Independence in 2s and 3s. We got good numbers. And the big deal with them is that they have great resistance to boxwood blight. So, plus they're really nice looking plants. So that's a bonus. Royal Family's next. So Royal Family is Prince and Princess in the same plant. That way, for people who are concerned about a pollinator, they don't have to worry about it. The berries are starting to turn. A lot of them are still green inside of there. It really takes, once we get to kind of the first frost for that berry to really start turning red, but that should be happening anytime. And that gives a really nice contrast between the dark greenish blue foliage to that red berry. So we got good availability on this right now, 9,000 plus. So, and you can see there the size and the just how the plant is, nice full to the bottom, great size, great shape. So this should be a good plant to lead off with. Sierra spreader. So talk about junipers a little bit. So Sierra spreader is in its name, it's a spreader. So very tough plant, definitely resists tip blight very well. It's drought tolerant, so that's a good thing for it. It isn't as low as like a blue rug, but it's very low to the ground. And we don't have a huge amount of these, but we got 300 of them available. They look really nice. They're oversized. We just wanted to show you if you got some last minute opportunities to get some of these out there. This would be a great size, great quality to land on a re-wholesale or a landscape lawn. Skyrocket. So Skyrocket, the way we produce these are in grow bags. So you can kind of see the grow bag in the photo. And then we sit it inside of a hard pot. So these are grown in the field in a grow bag. We dig them, basically pop them out of the ground, and then we put them in the pot so it's easier to ship. We have 75 of them above the ground, but there's a lot more. They're in the spring bucket. So we really like to keep these in the ground for as long as possible. They're just easier to store, easier to maintain. But as we need them, we'll roll them. And it's a process, so the guys do have to go out and dig them out of the ground. So if you're looking to get a large quantity of them or anything, it's just a communication piece. I'm sure you can get with Mark or Lee, and we'll get them out of the ground and get them rolled to current for you right away. We just don't want to get too far ahead on it and have to store them for the winter because we prefer they're in the ground going through winter. But you can see here how great they look. They're right at the 48-inch mark. They're not a whole lot above it, but I think they're a solid 48. And that's about as big as we got right now with the field. We have very limited amounts out there for the field. So this is really as big as I can offer. We do have a lot more coming on in the field. We're definitely pushing to get more and more and more in those bigger sizes, but it just takes time. So, but in the meantime, let's keep talking about this and see what we can do. Physocarpa. So we just wanted to show you, we've talked about all the new ones a lot, but we tend to maybe not talk about summer wine as much, but there's a possibility of a couple like ginger wine is going to be very limited or short. So summer wine black is out there, but I would expect that to book up pretty hard. I just wanted to show you how nice this looks. We kind of changed things a little bit. We did use a growth regulator and a little bit different trimming. So we don't have that plant that's just, you get this plant that's gigantic, that's like 36-inch plus, and it's hard to maintain on a retail lot. This crop here is really nice. We're definitely above our spec, but you can see here from the shape, the structure, it's going to be much easier to maintain on the lot. It's got leaves all the way down to the bottom of the can. When it breaks in the spring, it'll maintain that. So, you might want to talk about that a little bit of how nice the crop looks. So if you get people needing some of the other ones out there, go back to summer wine and just talk to them how nice and fresh this crop looks. Hopefully they can use that as a substitution. Ramnus fine line. This plant continues to just beat all expectations out there as far as sales go. We wanted to show you again here the 7-gallon. We grade this as a 36-inch plus. You can see they're at the 42-inch mark. You can see in there they're starting to go dormant. So the the leaves will turn a little yellow, and then they'll drop off here. But we do have 900 of these available. I do know that, we have availability on the 3s for spring, but the way the demand looks, that availability may not be there for a whole lot longer by looking at how you guys are turning in bookings for spring. So make sure we talk about the 7s. Typically, we don't ship a lot of 7s early spring, but it might be an alternative to talk about if some people just need to get some of them in. Hopefully, they can make that work. And I know Jeff is still working on trying to do everything he can with that, but the market's very limited. So, Rhododendron roseum elegans. This is a great looking crop. You can see there, those are flower buds on the top. They're starting to swell up. We're going to have a great crop of rhododendrons this year. This one here, we got some good availability, so I just wanted to show it off a little bit. It's mostly the rhododendrons we grow, other than the PJs, they're all May bloomers. So they're the rhododendrons that we grow we don't grow any repeat ones at this time. I know there's a couple out there in the market which we've tried, but they tend to have a lot of disease issues that come with it. So with the rhododendron program, the growers do a lot of work. We have special environments where we grow them in, where they're under high tunnel plastic all year. We have a copper system on them to keep our water nice and clean. And, those are talking points that you can talk about. They'll feel confident to bring these plants in. We're doing everything we can to make sure that they get a plant that their customer can be successful with. Because if we can keep them disease-free, real healthy root system, they just transplant so much better. So, but we have over 2,000, right around 2,000 of these. Taxus densiformis. I wanted to show this, not that it can be a real good sub for the other taxus, but Everlow are basically almost non-existent. I don't even know if there's anything available out there. We kept shipping them pretty hard. So I've looked around, tried to find some things. We're bringing in liners, trying to beef it up. We have just sold hard and heavy, and we've stripped our 2022 crop. So I'm trying to repair that hole, but I'm having difficulty finding the liners. So, I want to show the densiformis here, how nice these look. We do have 2,500 of them available. I would love probably even have more, but this is what we got. I just wanted to show you how nice this crop finished. And then just to talk about, there'll be a shortage out there on those Everlow. We've showed you wart eye. Wart eye isn't an Everlow, but it's still a lower grower. So it might work for some people as a substitution. But, I just wanted to throw that out there and prepare you for that. They just don't exist on the market from what I see on the Everlow. So you want to start thinking about alternatives, low-growing plants that they can use, maybe some of the junipers, things like that. So. Okay, Green Giant, you're probably getting tired of me talking about it, but I still got a few questions, and I know that it's weighs heavy on everybody of some of the shortages and some of the sizes out there. We are officially out of 15 gallons at this time. We've talked about that was coming up. It is definitely here. There is nothing out there. The 15-gallon crop will not be ready till sometime in June. So what we can offer is a 5-gallon. There you can see on your left, it's a 36 to 42 inch. And then on your right is a 7-gallon, which we're calling a 54. We're not really asking for that much more money, just a little bit of money. We had to bring these in at a little bit higher cost, but they're up at that 6-foot mark, but we didn't feel comfortable calling them 6-footers, or not 6-footers, 5-footers, 60 inch. So we list them as a 54, and they are definitely cheaper than our 15 gallon. That's the alternative that we have going forward. We have 2,000 plus. There's a few more just got to get on inventory. Hopefully, people can use this and go with that substitution. I know the fields are booked up. A lot of those are booked for spring already, so there's no more availability out there. I took another look. I just can't get any more out of those fields. So if you go to the next one is Schmargard. So, this can also be looked at as an alternative. Not exactly the same plant, but it's a really nice package. 15 gallon, 60 inch. I know most of you have been getting these through the fall. We have 4,000 in this crop that we can pull at that spec there. So we do have great availability there on these Schmargards. That needs to be the ARB that we talk about and we focus on for a bigger ARB. So we need to make sure that that gets shoved in the conversation, that if they're calling up, they're needing a green giant. We do have these Schmargards available. It's a great crop, nice looking plants. And we have 4,000 of them. So that's where we are right now. We did shift a lot more green giants. We're still shifting more. So we're really beefing that up, but no matter what I'm doing here now, it won't reach reality till sometime in June or July. So, but there is about 5,500 out there that will be ready for that sometime in that June window. And then we have another, I think we're up to another 4,000 that will be hitting shortly after that. So we are aggressively chasing that and doing everything we can to plug that. I know Jeff is way over canned on the 25s as well, but he's in the same scenario. It's more like summer before we can get those up to 72 inch plus on those 25. All right.